There's something people feel about you before you ever speak. Something unseen, something disruptive, something that vibrates in the space between your words, even in silence. And most of the time, you don't even notice it. But they do. It's not charisma. It's not charm. It's not anything you learned. It's something you carry. Something coded into your frequency. And the moment you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. People feel it in their bones and can't explain it. Some are drawn in, others are intimidated, but no one leaves unchanged. That's the first sign you radiate dark chosen one power. You don't make an entrance. You disrupt the field. This isn't about ego. It's about energetic architecture. You were designed to emit a frequency that awakens, agitates, and alchemizes. And that energy cannot go unnoticed. But the question is, what are you doing with it? Have you mastered it? Or is it still leaking into places that distort your mission? Let's talk about the deeper mechanics of this. That first sign, that energetic disruption, is actually a reflection of your inner alignment with the unseen realms. Most people live only from the surface, their words, their image, their performance. But you live from depth. And when someone lives from depth, it exposes the shallowness in others. That's why your presence can make people uncomfortable, even when you say nothing. Because they feel seen, not by your eyes, but by your vibration, by what you reflect back to them unconsciously. That's why strangers confess things to you, or avoid you, or get defensive for no reason. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing what your soul signed up to do. Activate truth in a world addicted to illusion. But that kind of power requires discernment. Because if you don't know how to ground it, you'll either repel everyone or worse, start shrinking yourself to make others feel safe. And that's not your mission. You didn't come here to be liked. You came to be felt. The second sign is what I call magnetic contradiction. People can't figure you out. You're intense yet calm, mysterious yet transparent, gentle yet terrifying. You carry paradox like a crown, and whether or not you realize it, this is one of your greatest spiritual technologies. Because the dark chosen carry both the shadow and the light, not as enemies, but as allies. And when you've made peace with your inner paradox, your aura becomes unreadable to the matrix. That means systems of control, energetic or social, can't categorize you. People want to box you in. Are you good or bad? Light or dark? Healer or destroyer? But you're both. And that makes you dangerous to illusions. Because you force others to confront the parts of themselves they've disowned. Your power isn't in choosing a side, it's in embodying the whole. But here's the trap. If you haven't integrated your paradox, it will manifest as inner chaos. You'll swing between extremes. You'll feel fragmented. So the question becomes, have you made peace with your own contradictions? Or are you still trying to choose a side that doesn't even exist? The third sign is spontaneous spiritual triggering. People project onto you instantly. They assume you're arrogant when you're just sovereign. They call you cold when you're just boundaried. They accuse you of being too intense, too deep, too much, when in reality, they're just too disconnected from their own truth to meet you where you are. This is the pain of the dark chosen one path. You don't have to say a word to trigger someone's shadow. Your energy alone pulls it to the surface. And unless you know what's happening, you'll internalize that rejection. You'll think there's something wrong with you. You'll water yourself down. But the truth is, your frequency acts like a spiritual mirror. And not everyone is ready to see what they've been hiding from. So they blame the mirror. They attack the reflection. They exile the truth. And if you're not rooted, you'll take it personally. But don't. It's not about you. It's about them meeting themselves in a field you hold. And your job is not to shrink. Your job is to keep holding the mirror without attachment, without ego, and without apology. So let me ask you something deep, something only you can answer. How many times have you made yourself smaller because the truth of your presence made someone else uncomfortable? And how long will you keep betraying your essence just to fit into a world you came here to transform? Because let's be honest, there's a cost to radiating dark chosen one power. You lose people. You get misunderstood. You become the villain in other people's unhealed stories. But there's also a reward: freedom. The kind of freedom that only comes from embracing your design without shame. And when you do that, something happens. Your energy stops reacting. It starts commanding, not from ego, from essence. You walk into a room and the space rearranges itself around your alignment. That's the truth of your power. Not loud, not boastful, unmistakable. And that's only the beginning. You're not just different, you're designed for divine disruption. The fourth sign people notice, even if they can't name it, is your stare. Not just your eyes, but the way you see. It's piercing. Not because you're trying to intimidate, but because your gaze is unfiltered. You don't look at people through the lens of their performance, you see through the mask, into the wound, and beyond that, into their potential. And that terrifies those who have built their entire identity on pretending. Ever notice how some people can't hold your gaze for more than a few seconds? Or how others feel drawn to you like they've known you for lifetimes? That's not random. Your eyes are a portal. They carry codes. They carry memory. They carry a vibration of authority that bypasses the conscious mind and speaks directly to the soul. But here's the thing, if you're not aware of this, your stare can be misinterpreted. People might project fear, seduction, judgment, or even power struggles onto you just because of how you see them. So the real question isn't just what are you seeing? It's also what frequency are you transmitting through your eyes? Judgment or compassion? Control or liberation? Fear or remembrance? The fifth sign is your silence and how loud it is. Most people think silence is absence, but your silence is presence. It's pressure, it's weight. People feel it in their chest. Not because it's empty, but because it's full of all the things you're not saying, all the energy you're holding, all the wisdom you've earned through pain. You can walk into a space and not say a single word, and still, conversations shift. People feel watched, not in a creepy way, but in a cosmic accountability way. Because your silence acts like a tuning fork, it reveals the dissonance in the room. And here's the challenge. Most people fill silence with noise so they don't have to feel themselves. But when they're around you, silence becomes unavoidable. They're forced to sit in their own frequency. And if you haven't yet mastered the art of holding that space with love instead of judgment, they'll either idolize you or demonize you. But you must remember, your silence is a spiritual tool. It's not passive. It's activating. So again, I ask, what is your silence doing in the world? Is it wounding or awakening? Is it hiding or healing? The sixth sign is your relationship with chaos. You don't just survive it, you draw it in. Not because you're unstable, but because your energy field is designed to reveal what's out of alignment. You walk into structures, families, jobs, friend groups, and within weeks or months, things start breaking down. Hidden truths rise. Unspoken tensions surface. Secrets leak. And suddenly people say, everything was fine before you came. But it wasn't. It was pretending. Your presence is a spiritual catalyst, and catalysts don't maintain, they dismantle. That's why your life may have looked like a series of collapses. Relationships ending, jobs crumbling, identities falling apart. But that's not failure, that's activation. Your vibration disrupts illusions. And chaos is the natural response of a system being purified of its falsehoods. But here's the wisdom. If you don't understand this about yourself, you'll start blaming yourself for the fallout. You'll think you're cursed. But you're not cursed. You're coded. So the deeper question becomes, have you learned how to wield your chaos as a creative force instead of a destructive one? The seventh and final sign for now is your emotional gravity. People feel things around you they don't feel anywhere else. You stir up grief they didn't know they had, longing they forgot existed, rage they've buried for years. It's not that you're causing these emotions. It's that your energy creates a field safe enough for them to emerge. And that's rare. Most people are emotionally dissociated. But around you, their soul senses an invitation. Feel. IOL. Remember. And while that's sacred, it's also dangerous. Because unless you've done the work to regulate your own emotions, you'll absorb theirs. You'll carry pain that was never yours and confuse it for your own. That's how empaths burn out. But dark chosen ones aren't here just to feel, we're here to transmute. That means learning to distinguish your emotions from others. It means building inner containers strong enough to hold collective grief without drowning in it. So ask yourself this: are you still confusing emotional absorption with empathy? Or are you ready to become a sacred vessel, one that transforms what it holds instead of becoming what it holds? You were sent to break patterns, not fit in. Your energy is a sacred algorithm. Now that we've uncovered all 7 signs, there's something we need to confront together, something deeper than traits or behaviors. The real question isn't whether people notice these signs in you. The question is, why do you radiate them in the first place? The answer is coded in your mission. You weren't sent here to fit into the existing framework. You were sent to fracture it. Your energy is not random. It's an ancient algorithm designed by higher intelligence to dismantle outdated patterns in the collective grid. That's why your very existence challenges norms. You don't follow the rules not because you're rebellious, but because your frequency literally cannot resonate with systems built on illusion. Whether it's education, religion, relationships, or even traditional spirituality, you see the cracks. You feel the distortion, and your soul can't pretend. That's why people feel uncomfortable around you. You disturb the system, not by choice, by design. So now you must ask yourself, are you still trying to gain permission from the very structures you were sent to deconstruct? Here's the next layer of truth. Your life will never be easy in the conventional sense, but it will be sacred and powerful and wildly aligned if you stop resisting your path. The dark chosen one doesn't rise by mimicking the light. We rise by redeeming the shadow. That means we don't run from our pain. We mine it for codes. We don't bypass our rage. We refine it into clarity. We don't deny our chaos. We wield it as a sword of truth. You've already lived through more than most people could comprehend. And yet, you're still here. Not broken, but forged. Every scar you carry is a sigil. Every wound, a portal. Every loss, a recalibration. You didn't come here to conform. You came here to recode the matrix from within. And that's why people notice you before you speak. That's why they feel you before they understand you. Because your soul is broadcasting a frequency that reminds them who they are beneath their masks. That's not just power. That's soul technology in motion. But with great resonance comes great responsibility. If you're going to walk this path fully, you must commit to mastery. Not over others, over yourself. Mastery of your triggers. Mastery of your energy. Mastery of how you move through the world. Because without that, your power becomes volatile. Your presence becomes overwhelming. Your truth becomes a weapon instead of a mirror. And that's not the path of the dark chosen. We don't dominate, we disrupt with love. We don't manipulate, we mirror with precision. We don't seek attention, we embody intention. So the next time someone tells you, there's just something about you, don't shrink. Don't deflect. Don't question it. Own it. That something is your soul doing what it came here to do. Wake people up. And the more you accept that, the more your life will align with the version of you that's been waiting to be remembered. So here we are. You've heard the signs. You've felt the truth. Now the choice is yours. Will you keep hiding behind a personality you created for survival? Or will you finally step into the archetype your soul has been whispering about your whole life? Because I promise you this, once you say yes to your dark chosen one power, the world will shift around you. Not because it's easy, but because it's inevitable. You will lose people. You will walk through fire. You will be misunderstood, but you'll also be free. Free in a way most people will never taste. And in that freedom, you will become the very thing your ancestors prayed for, your lineage needs, and the world is desperate for a living embodiment of what happens when shadow meets soul and chooses sovereignty over safety. You are not too much. You were never too much. You are the exact amount of power this planet needs right now. And the time to own it is now.